So now that we're up to date with the rank 5s, let's talk about the 7 stars real quick, because I actually do have 3 rank 2 7 stars, which I ranked before most of my new rank 5 6 stars. So the first one is Sasquatch, who I was quite keen to rank 2 ever since awakening him, cause he just has so much defensive value, still the largest health pool in the game, and he's made even more tankier with the rage stacks that reduce your damage, plus the sig that gives you the regen, and the unstoppable from specials and heavies when he enters Wrath. So he was probably the best defensive investment I could have made. But I'm not even placing him in an alliance war because we have another duped rank 2 Sasquatch, yet he has still done so much for me because he is just so good in Battlegrounds. I mean, he is my most banned 7 star by far, one of my most banned champs overall, and when he doesn't get banned, oh boy, you better make sure you have an appropriate counter. And even if you do, it's not going to be the quickest fight to say the least. Plus I can always just switch it up and use him on attack. Like here, I actually forgot how to use him because it's been so long since I used my 6 star. Could have been better at managing power and not using a special 3, but still afterwards the special 2s just slap. I didn't even have that many raptures on, I wasn't in Wrath the whole time, so these numbers could be much bigger. So yeah, it can also be quite fun to play once you get into it. My second rank 2 6 star is a champ who I've always kind of liked but was never really practical for short to medium fights. So it just never really made sense for me to invest in her until she got buffed, because that buff just gave her exactly what she needed to make her a lot more practical for everyday fights, and that was just the ramp up process being a little bit too long. Now she can actually access some pretty solid damage much earlier in the fight, which continues to build up as the fight goes on. And it's also pretty easy to maintain your shocks, and that's pretty much all she needed, because her utility was always great, so now she's got pretty much everything going for her, attack and defense. In fact, she is one of the best 7 stars to pull for the first time, because the sig is not that important. I mean, it's a nice little extra piece of utility, being able to unblock unblockable specials, but that's all it really is. I mean, she's got so much more in her base kit. And she's also pretty simple to play. You don't really need to optimize that much. You can get some pretty good results with just parrying, dropping full combos and spamming special 1. And defensively she can still be quite annoying simply because all her attacks are non-contact and those long special attacks. So she's not really that punishing, but she can make a fight take longer than you would like, especially if you don't have a miss counter. She also just feels so good to play. Smooth animations and all those shocks and guaranteed crits are quite satisfying. The third 7 star I took to rank 2 just had to be the Hulk, and this is purely for offense. He doesn't have that much utility, it's just poison immunity, some debuffs, the ability to stun lock, which is pretty cool and quite useful. But the main thing is just damage. He's got a lot of damage and it's very easy to access, very quick to access, and it's very sustainable. You just need to get it close to 3 bars of power, then drop a special 2, and then drop a special 1, and if they're not yet knocked out, they will be stunned until they're knocked out. So he might have the least utility out of all my 7 stars, but he still gets used the most simply because he's got the most practical damage in most scenarios. And he's just so simple, but in a good way. After the buff, I was surprised that he was actually getting released as a 7 star. So those are my first 3 rank 2 7 stars, pretty happy with all of them. I could do a mutant right now, but I don't really feel like taking up any of my mutants. Maybe if I had a bishop or sunspot, or if I had a cosmic I could take one up to rank 2. I just don't have a lot of 7 stars yet, so not a lot of good options. I do have a lot of 6 star shards, but I can wait. I feel like 7 stars aren't really a requirement just yet, they feel more like an enhancement still. And the pool is still very small, so might be more interesting to open when there's a lot more variety available, because I'm not really chasing for any dupes right now. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you found it interesting, and as always, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.